Oh my coins. Bitcoin, 100K, pretty much. What about altcoins? Let's discuss that today. This is so fantastic. Dude, guys, girls, whatever, dogs, I don't know who's watching. Bullishness all around the market, and people are not seeing it yet. They're going to be sidelined for this whole bull market. And I feel like it's kind of my job to now make sure that we are bullish enough. I was bearish when everybody was saying like, you should be bullish. And now I kind of flipped. I noticed that, the sentiment is altcoins are not going up. It's not going to rip. It is going to rip, guys. And in this video, I want to show you why I think that. So let's get right into that. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you think that you're going to like the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. And let's go over the market and when I think it is time for altcoins to grow. Now, of course, some altcoins are growing, but the overall altcoin market, because I have seen a pattern in the market right now, which I want to share. If you are a member of the Alpha Factory, you can find the calls right here as well. There is a link down below where you can get so much information. We're front running everybody. Shared this project when it was 0.008, did it 12x so far, made some good money off of it. Yeah, the gems will be shared right there, so definitely be there. Again, link down below. Come talk to us, come front run everybody and their mother, man. So what I see happen in the market right now is this: Bitcoin is at 99K at the moment of recording, and if you look closely at the chart, you can see that it touched 99.5K. Bitcoin was half a percent away from 100K. That's incredible, of course, right? Like, we weren't there yet. I want to see those 6 digits. Like, that's gonna be fantastic, of course, but we can pretty much say that we went there almost. Now, at the moment, what I notice, and maybe you will catch yourself with thinking like that as well, like, well, Bitcoin is ripping, but my altcoins are not. I should have been in Bitcoin. I don't know if altcoins are gonna run. Maybe I should get out of like, you're thinking completely. I hope that you catch yourself thinking like that and then realize like, hey, this is exactly that market psychology that people always talk about, right? It is the other way around. Your feelings and your actual good choices are not always aligning right. So what about altcoins? Well, what I first want to show you is something short slash midterm, which could be bearish slash something that you should be cautious about. And then I want to show you something really bullish for the rest of the market. Because sometimes I make a video saying that, and then I make a video saying that. Yeah, but these are 2 different time horizons, right? So I want to just share in this video what I think is going to happen in this market from now on. So what you'll notice with Bitcoin is just ripping. And if you look at this chart, you can see something very interesting. Bitcoin, it had that first run up, right? Then we had a consolidation area, and then we are now starting the second leg. Right? That's kind of what always happens in every bull cycle. We had that first run up, consolidation area, second leg. Even the market before that, if you zoom in enough, right, you will find it. Bitcoin had its first leg up, consolidation area, maybe even here, and then the real leg up. So this second leg, in my opinion, just started, right? Does it mean we go up only from here? No, we won't go up only from here. Of course, let me turn off my sound. I don't know if you hear it, but it's annoying, these notifications. It doesn't mean we're going up only from here. Matter of fact, I'm very curious what's going to happen now, because 100K is a psychological barrier for a lot of people, right? And the question is, are we going to hit that 100K and then get a fat rejection? Are we going to get a rejection right before that 100K? Are we just going to blast through it? I can tell you, there's nobody on this planet Earth that can tell you that before that happens, right? What I do think is likely is that at a certain point, we will see a big correction. That's what bull markets are known for. And these are also the opportunities in crypto, because you can buy the green candles, whatever you want, but they will come with some red candles. And if you buy those, you have a great entry, right? Low risk because you are in a bull market, but also the lowest price possible. Don't FOMO in at the top, okay? If you now look at Bitcoin and be like, well, almost 100K, I should buy it, then how much upside do you really expect for your crypto portfolio? If it's 2, maybe a 3x, something like that, then you can try, although I still think this is not, the best place to buy. But what's interesting is this, and that's the money flow. Set your emotions aside for a while, okay? Set everything aside. Set aside what the news might be, what the good news is going to be, what the bad news could be, that you think that utility might be dead, that meme coins are only going to run. This is all emotional, and this is not something you should consider when you are going to invest in crypto. Look at the cycle and look at the money flow, because these are the statistics. Crypto is all about numbers. Yeah, then you should look at the statistics and not emotions. What I notice is this. Bitcoin has the same pattern as the rest of the crypto market. But Bitcoin is front-running the rest of the market. So you kind of can predict what's happening to the rest of the market. So far, this time, again, exactly the same. This time isn't different, right? Cycle bottom to top. The road is the destination is the same. The way to that destination is always a little different, right? We had a new all-time high before the halving. Okay, whoop-de-doo. The middle of the cycle is always a little different. But so far, this is the same. We are right on track compared to the other 2 cycles. So that Bitcoin is here. It seems like, wow, it's high, it's overbought, it's this, it's that. It's exactly where it's supposed to be. Exactly, right? This is not different than any other cycle. What's also cyclical is the money rotation. As you know, maybe, probably, I don't know. Bitcoin moves first, then we usually have Ethereum, then it goes into high caps, and then it goes into low caps. That's where the alt season starts, right? What we currently see is the Bitcoin phase. This is still the Bitcoin phase. So for the people that wonder, when alt season? Slow down. It's not the phase yet. This is the first phase, okay? The next phases will come after this. We see the Bitcoin phase, where Bitcoin is outperforming almost every altcoin. Of course, there are some outperforming altcoins. There will always be. But overall, if you take the altcoin market and you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is outperforming by far. What you then should see is that money flow into Ethereum. But that's not really the case. Because, I'm going to show you this. This Bitcoin, remember this. We had that run up, we consolidated, and we had that big leg, that big break out of it way above all-time highs. Then if we look at the total crypto market, so everything within the top 125, looks the same, right? Less of a breakout still, because total crypto market is 7% above the all-time high. And yeah, Bitcoin is 45% above the all-time high. So that should already tell you that, hey, total crypto market is breaking out, but Bitcoin is breaking out harder, right? So the rest of the combined crypto market is underperforming. Even if you include all these outperformers, they're included in this chart, right? But then again, that's not enough to outperform Bitcoin. Then you should see the total 2 breakout, because this is everything. But if you look at the total 2, that's everything except Bitcoin, right? Everything except Bitcoin. And what you'll notice, this is basically sitting at March highs. How come? Well, if you take Bitcoin away, then the market isn't really outperforming actually yet. Not really, right? But you see which direction Bitcoin goes. This is where the total 2 is sitting right now. This. Right? That's here. So you can look at this chart and be like, okay, this is eventually where it's going, right? Because Bitcoin is front-running the rest of the market. The rest of the market will follow. What you then should see is the total 3 doing very well as well, right? Because the total 3 is everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum. But again, money should flow into Ethereum first, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, high caps. What's funny, if you look at the total 2 and the total 3, you see that the total 3 is outperforming the total 2. So the money flow in crypto is skipping Ethereum, actually. And that makes sense. I mean, if you look at Solana, it looks like Solana is the Ethereum of this cycle when it comes to that, right? Ethereum has it still has a big market cap, but Solana is outperforming Ethereum when it comes to growth. Then we can take a look at others, right? So that's everything outside of the top 10. And if you look at that chart, really underperforming, still really underperforming. So that's a really interesting chart, because this is saying like, hey, we have Bitcoin going up, we have Bitcoin, or the total crypto market going up, we have the total crypto market without Bitcoin going up, we have the total market without Bitcoin and Ethereum going up. But if we take away all of those and we only look at the high cap altcoins, it's following, right? But it's not nearly there yet. So the money hasn't rotated into the low caps yet. This seems like Bitcoin phase is currently going on, right? Bitcoin is the heavy outperformer. So we are still in that phase. But it looks like the next stage has started as well. That's also what you can see if you look at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. You see the high caps, Solana doing fantastic, right? XRP gaining a lot of market share. Dogecoin, 40 cents, doing great. Cardano doing well, right? You now see the high caps going up. And there are always people, they look, for example, at an individual Cardano or XRP or whatever, and they say like, yeah, it's because of this, right? Like, it could be a little bit because of whatever you want to say that it's because of. But on the other hand, it is simply a fact that we are just in the stage of the market where Bitcoin goes up and high caps follow. Now, what's an interesting chart, if you ask me, is this one. This is total 3 minus others. And this shows exactly what we just saw on CoinGecko. Total 3 is everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum. But we also take away others. So everything outside of the top 10. So basically all there is left is, what chart is this? Minus USDT and USDC. So all there is left is Solana, BNB, XRP, Dogecoin, Staked ETH, and Cardano, right? 6 coins it was, right? The 6 high cap coins. And this is how that chart is looking like, right? Not near their all-time highs yet, but way above this range right here. So this shows that the actual high caps are now breaking out. And that money flows eventually to the low caps, aka others, right? And even lower than that, right? And that's here still. So if you are now looking at the market and be like, okay, I have money, where do I need to place it? Look, that's not up to me to say, but I would not look at the things that have already broken out. You had so much time, the past bear market or whatever, to invest in those, right? And it's not wise to look at the breakout and be like, okay, no, right? Like, that's kind of too late. So I would say I am not buying a broken out Bitcoin right now. I'm also not buying the high caps like the XRPs or the Doges or the Cardano, because look, your chance was here. Even your best chance was here, but here you had 8 months, right? Now it broke out. Now you want to buy it? Too late. Next. Where is the money flowing next? That's where you want to be before that happens. And again, that's the low caps, right? And that hasn't broken out yet. But it is showing like, hey, guys, we are following what Bitcoin and the high caps are doing. So the writing is pretty much on the wall with this. Therefore, I do think that the altcoin market, well, that's one of the reasons why I think that the altcoin market is going to fly, just because of the money flow. And it is already showing, right? So the money flow is pretty clear. The low caps should fly, and I don't think that it's time yet, though. If you look at this chart, the high caps, yeah, there are ways to measure it, right? But if you just look at the Fibonacci retracement, for example, it broke the 618. Next level is the 786, right? So it still has room to grow. So I do still think that Solana, BNB, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, and maybe even some of those, right? But I still think that these have more growth to come in the coming couple of weeks, depending on like if we don't get a crash or whatever, right? But I still think that they are getting more market share compared to Bitcoin or the low caps, right? That's technical wise, right? Like again, you can never be sure, but I think that this thing is not done running yet. Now, before I'm be more bullish, and this is what I showed in the video before, but this, yeah, let me show you this first. This is so bullish because again, if you look, for example, at one of these high caps, which is XRP, right? You look at this monthly candle, 187%. Of course, I've been not like too bullish on XRP, and I've been laughing at this thing like, oh, it's fucking stable coin, because let's be honest, it kind of is, right? But XRP is very good at doing nothing, have a big breakout, go down right away, and then do nothing for a couple of years again, right? But overall, still, this, I stand by my point, by the way. This was a terrible investment. It's at the same level at where it was in 2018, actually. So if anything, you lost money because of inflation. But look at this, and look at this candle. This is quite good to see. But then you look at XRP on its Bitcoin pair, and you'll be like, what did it actually do, right? It did it. If anything, I would feel a little concerned because it had so much support at where we are right now. And now it more looks like, okay, right? Like technically, you'd be like, oh, resistance and shit right here, resistance. And we had so much support right here, and it broke down, which was super bearish actually. And now it just maybe tries to retest it. Maybe it breaks, but maybe it goes down again. I don't know. But overall, if you zoom out on this chart, be like, yeah, you know, it didn't do much actually compared to its Bitcoin pair. It's far where it came from. Like it will never go back here, of course. But this is bullish because it shows like, hey, whenever altcoins start to outperform Bitcoin by a little bit, while Bitcoin is sitting at 90K, yeah, apparently then this is how the dollar pairs on these altcoins going to look like. And this is a high cap, not a low cap. So can you imagine when the overall altcoin market starts to outperform Bitcoin again? And that will happen because, again, that's the money flow. That's the cycle. And apart from that, there are charts for that I've showed many times before. If you look at, well, the altcoin market overall on its Bitcoin pair, then this is not the one, then you'll see this, right? Yeah, it hasn't done anything yet, basically. This was a small period where it outperformed Bitcoin by a little bit, while Bitcoin was 40K. And altcoins on the dollar pair went crazy. Now, we have way more upside, and Bitcoin is twice as high. And XRP is the prime example, like, hey, if it does anything, if it has some kind of a relief, then thanks to Bitcoin, it can finally go up on its dollar pair. And that's what we are about to see with the complete altcoin market, but on a way larger scale than high caps like XRP, of course, right? Because, hey, XRP gained like $30 billion market cap or so. It's crazy. But you do not notice that much in the price because it's already high cap. Yeah, let alone if a lot of that market share that Bitcoin has flows into the low cap altcoins. That's going to be like, guys, the money is already here, right? That's what I said in one of the last videos as well. Like, we don't need new money in crypto. We will get it, but we don't need it. We're already sitting at all-time highs, right? It's now just a matter of that money flowing into the altcoins that you have. So therefore, I made a video in the Alpha Factory. Again, there's a link down below. Whatever, you know. But I shared my complete portfolio right there. I showed it on CoinGecko. This is what I have. This is what I bought. This is my holdings. This is how much money I have. Blah, 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 blah. And I showed like, hey, I have a small meme coin portfolio. These are the meme coins. This is what I have. This is how I'm trading it. But most of my money is in the portfolio with coins that haven't run yet. Why? Well, because that's where the money is going to flow, right? That's what we can see right here with this money flow. So if that money at a certain point goes into that altcoin market, then these altcoins are gonna rip. Like now, you are probably very happy if you see a 40% gain on a coin in your portfolio. I can tell you, you will in that bull market that we're about to get see 40% gains on your overall portfolio daily for weeks and months. It is ridiculous. I remember 2021, it's ridiculous. You can refresh every minute and you'll see that you made more. Crazy, right? The money is already there. So that's super bullish if you ask me. So now Bitcoin is sitting at 100K. Again, I don't know how like high it is going to go. If I look at the Fibonacci retracement, then this could be a psychological area for people. On the other hand, yeah, the 1.618 comes in at around $102,000. So it could also be that it runs a little more and then around this area finds a good rejection. Why rejection? Again, in a bull market that happens. I don't even have to look at charts or narratives or whatever to assume that there will be a good correction at some point, right? Like that's what bull markets do. It runs up a lot. People take a lot of profits at a certain point. That's normal. Apart from that, there is one chart. So what I just said about altcoins, etc., this is my long-term view, right? For between like until next year, this time next year, basically. That's when I think the market should be over. So that's long-term. In the short to mid-term, I'm still cautious. And why I'm still cautious? Well, one, again, Bitcoin just had a couple of freaking God candles, basically, right? It had a, if you look at the week, it had a weekly candle of 16%. Then it had a weekly candle of 11%. And then it had a weekly candle of 10%. It doesn't sound like much, but that compounds, right? 50% in 3 weeks for Bitcoin, right? So therefore, I do feel like, okay, let's not be too bullish when the market is too exhausted at some point. And other than that, this chart keeps on calling me, man. This is USDT dominance, and I know that a lot of people, I said this before on the channel about this chart, and a lot of people said like, yeah, no, what this time is going to break. But I sometimes wonder, like, do you really think that based on something, or do you hope that it will break? Like, I'm not. I honestly, I want more subs. I want that play button right there, right? I need to make more money with YouTube, maybe. I need to make a bit of career out of it. But I refuse to become that type of YouTuber that only tells people what they want to hear for the cloud. Because that's not sustainable. I will wreck you, and in a year from now, you won't take me serious anymore. That's nonsense, right? So sometimes I also say something that you might not want to hear, and that I don't want to hear, because I want everything to go up like rather yesterday than today, right? But that's sometimes what reality is, and we should keep into consideration, like this could bounce, right? Which is bearish for the market. I'm not saying it will, but based on the fact that it never did not bounce from this trend line from existence, basically, it's very weird to just assume that it's gonna break this time, right? Like that makes no sense. Every time it hit this trend line, it bounced, and crypto went eventually down really hard, really hard. We should keep in consideration that that could happen again. And it kind of lines up with the fact that we are sitting around a very, very huge psychological number, and also a huge number almost on the fib retracement for Bitcoin. It comes together. If it happens right now, we will look in hindsight and be like, duh, of course, right now. Of course, it kind of bounced right here, right? And I'm curious, man, how this is going to play out. Again, if you overlay, fuck Bitcoin, right? If you overlay the altcoin market, it doesn't have to immediately be something bad, right? If you look at the altcoin market, the purple line, We were sitting at this trend line right here, and this is where the altcoin market was, right? We bounced on this trend line. And in the meantime, the altcoin market still went up, and then we got that crash, right? But that crash made sure that the USDT dominance was sitting high again, and we had more room to grow, right? So even if we get a good crash, it doesn't have immediately has to be super bearish, right? It could mean that the altcoin market, in the meantime, will do something like this. And then we get that correction on the USDT dominance, right? And we do maybe something like this, retest a certain level, retest this level for all I don't know, and then continue, right? If I talk about crash, I don't mean this. That's not. It's a bull market, right? It's not. You also have to look at the stage of the market, and although this has always so far topped off, always has flashed off the peak bull markets, right? So if you look in end of 2021, this is where the bear market started, right? Was at the trend line. End of 2017 here kind of is where the bear market started. At a certain point, we will probably get a bear market once it's sitting at this line again. But I don't think that this is the moment. We have a year to go. The money hasn't flown yet. Alt season hasn't happened yet, right? There's too much that time-wise would not make sense for this. But you can, of course, get midterm corrections. And that's definitely possible. For now, again, how I prepare for this is basically, and that's what I showed in the Alpha Factory as well. Hey guys, I bought this coin for this amount and I DCA'd my profits out. That's my initial. And now I have free back. Great. And I have cash. Right? So I always try to position, and that's what I could really recommend. If the market goes up, you feel fantastic. And if the market goes down, you don't feel like crap. That's the best way to be positioned right now. You could be all in the market, but yeah. Then again, then if that correction happens, you just wish you didn't, right? And it will happen at some point, and that's more regret than going up with not all of your money. I can tell you that. For now, again, if you look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, this is the chart that shows you if money is going to be made in altcoins or not. This is the chart, right? Because altcoins, that's so beautiful, right? Altcoins are doing fine. They're sitting closer to the high than to the low. But that's just because Bitcoin is ripping. Again, because if you look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, it's sitting at the low, basically. So I am more than too bullish, actually, for the coming year. Because again, if this just gets a little relief, and I don't even mean a reversal yet, but if it just gets a little relief with Bitcoin at 100K, then altcoins explode on their dollar pair. That's just what it is. Altcoins exploded on the dollar pair here as well. 10x, 20x, right? End of the year, beginning this year, until March, give or take. Well, they didn't really moon against Bitcoin. It was a good pump, but was not a reversal. And Bitcoin was 40K, not 100. Let alone if we take the liquidity out of 100K Bitcoin. So I would say position yourself right now. If people say, it's too late to get into the... Look, we're at the bottom. It's not too late. If you buy it with dollars, then it's maybe not, it's not even too late, but it's definitely not early. But then don't buy Bitcoin, then buy altcoins, right? And then again, you want to look where to place it. High caps could go up more, but already running quite hard, right? Okay. Total market running quite hard. So let's take Bitcoin away from that. Ethereum and altcoins look quite good. If you look at the same chart with Ethereum, it's higher. So maybe it's even better to be in Ethereum than most of the altcoins. And that's where where I think it's important to turn your emotions off, because now people just love to say that Ethereum is dead, for example. Yeah, I mean, if you want to place your bets right there, look, I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows, but based on investing trading history, not every time that something was low, it was dead. That was with Ethereum in this specific case, always an opportunity, right? Here it went down like here it went down with 88%. Well, it wasn't that. It was a freaking opportunity of a lifetime, right? Here it went down with 80%. Opportunity of a lifetime. Wasn't that? Here it went down with 89%. Wasn't that? Was an opportunity of a lifetime. Here, now, so far, is now 62%. And now people say it's dead. Look, if anything, Ethereum is performing better than any other market so far, right? So, yeah, do with it what you will, right? Like you could be in the camp like, well, if Solana is going to replace Ethereum, like they can both exist, right? In this cycle, we had Cardano. People invested there because they said Ethereum was dead, and they both existed. They both ripped. Now it could be Ethereum and Solana. Do I think Ethereum is a good product? Oh, but where the money is, there's way more money there than in Solana. Well, Solana is ripping. So why shouldn't Ethereum rip, right? Again, I am not buying Ethereum myself. I'm a little more risky. But then again, this is kind of how you want to look at these kind of charts, I think, right? Every time you think something is dead, then just look at this and be like, is it dead? Do I think it's really dead just because the price went down and nobody's talking about it? And yeah, if everybody's talking about it and everybody's bullish about it, then the price wouldn't be down as well, right? So it wasn't better here or here or here. Matter of fact, all these three was way worse. So do whatever you will. But overall, I think that it's good to look like, hey, where is the money flowing next? Because the market is already showing, hey, Bitcoin now goes into high caps. Cool, right? It's kind of inevitable that the money flow is not going to stop right now, right? Like that it's going to flow into the lower caps as well. So then I will be way more interested in the others, right? Everything outside of the top 10 than these top 10 coins that are now catching a bit, right? So then I would look at the slightly lower cap coins and do whatever you will. It's kind of everything on this page and a part of the next page, right? Not saying that everything on this page is a good buy, but risk reward, it's better than what you'll find right here. Therefore, I think it's now important that, again, in the Alpha Factory, I share a lot of my portfolio and exactly how I am going to play it right now. Because I'm pretty certain that I will make a buckload of money in this bull market. And I just want to take as many of you guys with me to do that. Because it is going to be so fun, guys. It's going to be so fun. So I want to wrap it up right here. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. Let me know, how are you preparing? How are you placing your bets? I'm super curious. See you soon.